Vivo's lead telephones have gained notoriety for brilliant camera execution, finishing in last year's X70 Pro Plus being generally named one of, if not the, best camera telephones available. With no X80 Pro Plus, it falls on the X80 Pro to accept the responsibility. Furthermore, to be sure, its camera framework is strikingly like the X70 Pro Plus S, but with a couple of key changes, particularly to the organization's brand name gimbal adjustment, calculate quicker charging and a redesigned chipset. And the X80 Pro is surely a commendable replacement, in the event that not an obvious update, and by any action is a remarkable Android lead, design and fabricate, surprising huge camera module, fabulous iridescent glass finish, IP68 rating. From the front, the Vivo X80 Pro seems to be some other top-of-the-line Android lead. It's huge a piece because of a gigantic 6.78 in presentation with a focal poke-hole selfie camera and inclining, bended sides to the screen. At 9.1mm it's not the most slender telephone around. However, with the bended edges it actually feels shockingly slim. Comparably, at 219 grams, it's not really lightweight. However, most telephones this size actually run somewhat heavier. From the back, however, it's somewhat more surprising. That is for the most part down to the camera module, an unusual design which sees 3 of the 4 back focal points contained all around, with the 4th sat underneath them yet inside a bigger, reflected square shape that stretches across the telephone's back. Components of this have proactively been seen in other Vivo telephones, so it's not completely new, yet I actually think it looks pretty odd, not least the manner in which the periscope focal point appears to have been inelegantly unloaded beneath different cameras. In any case, it's surely strange, and one undoubted advantage of the wide module is that the telephone doesn't shake from side to side while laying on its back. Show and sound, monstrous 6.78 in screen, 120Hz LTPO and QHD plus Gold stereo speakers. The showcase is perhaps of the greatest hint that the X80 Pro is actually a replacement to the X70 Pro Plus, as opposed to last year's standard X70 Pro. That is on the grounds that it's hopped up to match the size and goal of the past top model, with a presentation that is really difficult to beat. As I've proactively said, at 6.78 and this is a big screen. The 1440x32.0 goal makes it QHD+, more point-by-point than even numerous different leads. Because of utilizing the most recent LTPO 3.0 presentation tech, the telephone can likewise scale its refresh rate from 1 Hz the entire way to 120 Hz to advance power utilization. Specs and execution. Lead Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset, 12GB SLAM and 256GB storage. Smooth execution. Center execution is another region where there's actually no space for objection. The worldwide variant of the X80 Pro is controlled by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, the most impressive Snapdragon chip accessible in telephones at the present time. It comes matched with 12GB of SLAM and 256GB of non-expandable storage. However, that is the main choice you get. Strangely, in China there are other SLAM and storage choices, alongside even the choice to purchase the telephone with the adversary MediaTek Dimensity 9000 chip. However, there's the Ideal One adaptation for the worldwide send-off. However, that is not really a problem when it runs this well. With the specs it has, it's nothing unexpected that the X80 Pro stands its ground with the best telephones available in our benchmarks, and it's a similar story in everyday use. The telephone is quick, liquid, and responsive regardless of what you toss at it, and will be an incredible decision for performing various tasks or extreme gaming. Concerning organizing, you get 5G, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, and NFC. Pretty difficult to blame. Entertainingly enough, the China Just Immensity adaptation of the telephone benefits from the later Bluetooth 5.3 norm, yet this truly doesn't make any difference at the end of the day. Battery and charging. Amazing almost 2-day battery duration. Quick wired and remote charging. 80W wired charger provided. Prepared for all the more uplifting news. The X80 Pro is phenomenal with regards to its battery as well. The 4700 mAh cell here is bigger than on any of Vivo's leads last year, and it's paid off. The telephone serenely endures as the day progressed, and nearly extended to a full second day for me, and for lighter clients I suspect it frequently will. Camera and video. Strong quad back camera. Gimbal settled 2x representation focal point. Proficient selfie shooter. The camera equipment on the X80 Pro is another clue that this is pretty much a development to the X70 Pro Plus, on the grounds that practically precisely the same arrangement is utilized again here, yet somewhat reorganized. The core of the camera is a 50MP primary focal point, joined by a 48MP ultra-wide, 12MP 2x picture zooming focal point, and 8MP 5x periscope focal point. All utilization pretty much similar sensors, focal points, and openings as on the more seasoned telephone. Programming and updates. Android 12 with fun touch operating system. Bunches of pre-introduced bloatware. 3 years of updates promised. On the off chance that the X80 Pro has a point of weakness, it's the product. The telephone ships with Android 12 and fun touch operating system, which is a long way from my #1 Android skin around, and may very well be quite possibly of horrible. It seems like Xiaomi and Oppo's product did 3 or a long time back, with a huge number of pre-introduced programming, bizarre default settings, and forceful battery enhancement.